When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love. Marcus Aurelius. Most of us start our day in a rush, checking our phones, scrolling through notifications, and diving straight into the chaos of modern life. But what if we took a different approach? What if, instead of reacting, we started the day with intention, discipline, and clarity, like the great Stoic thinkers of the past? Here are 5 morning routines of Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, so you can start your day with focus, purpose, and peace. Let's begin. 1. Begin with reflection. The Stoics believed that the first moments of the day are crucial, setting the tone for everything that follows. Unlike the modern habit of reaching for a phone or rushing into work, they approached the morning as a time to center themselves, to prepare for the challenges ahead, and to remind themselves of what truly matters. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and one of the most well-known Stoic philosophers, made a habit of writing down his thoughts every morning. These personal reflections, later compiled into what we now know as meditations, were not written for an audience, but for himself. They were reminders, notes to his own mind, to stay grounded in reason, to remain patient in the face of adversity, and to act with virtue regardless of external circumstances. One of his key morning practices was to anticipate the difficulties he would face. He wrote that each day he would encounter people who were selfish, ungrateful, or dishonest. Instead of being surprised or frustrated by this, he reminded himself that human nature is flawed, but that he had the power to control his own reactions. He would not allow the faults of others to dictate his mood or his principles. This is a practice worth adopting. Before the day begins in earnest, take a moment to think. What challenges might arise today? Perhaps there will be delays, disagreements, or moments of frustration. Instead of hoping for a perfect day and being caught off guard when obstacles appear, expect them. Accept that they are part of life. Then, decide in advance how you will respond, not with irritation or complaint, but with patience, wisdom, and resilience. Reflection also includes a deep acknowledgement of what is within your control and what is not. The Stoics constantly emphasized this distinction. The weather, other people's opinions, unexpected events, these are outside your control, but your thoughts, your actions, your character, these belong entirely to you. By reminding yourself of this simple truth each morning, you train your mind to let go of unnecessary stress and focus on what truly matters. Another powerful practice is to begin the day by contemplating your purpose. Why are you getting up today? What is the greater reason behind your actions? Stoics believed in living according to virtue, wisdom, courage, temperance, and justice. Instead of just listing out tasks for the day, they encouraged deeper questions. How will I embody wisdom today? In what moments will I need courage? Where can I practice self-discipline? How can I be fair and just in my interactions? These reflections turn the morning from a passive start into a conscious preparation for a day lived with meaning. Beyond preparing for external challenges, the morning is also a time for internal reflection. Seneca, another great Stoic thinker, advised people to frequently examine their own behavior, not with self-criticism, but with honest evaluation. What habits are serving you? Which ones are holding you back? Are your daily actions aligned with your principles, or are you being swept along by distractions and impulses? This kind of self-inquiry, done in the quiet moments before the world imposes its demands, allows for continuous growth and improvement. In a practical sense, this can take different forms. Some may choose to journal, as Marcus Aurelius did, writing out their thoughts, intentions, or philosophical reflections. Others may simply sit in silence for a few minutes, thinking through their day and reinforcing their mindset. Some may even recite a short phrase or principle to themselves, a kind of mantra to carry through the day. Something as simple as, focus only on what I can control, or act with virtue in all things. However you choose to do it, the key is to begin your day with purpose, rather than passivity. To step into the world prepared, rather than reactive. To remind yourself of who you are and how you want to live, rather than allowing circumstances to dictate your behavior. By starting each morning in this way, you align yourself with the wisdom of the Stoics, ensuring that no matter what happens, you are mentally and emotionally prepared to meet the day with clarity and strength. 2. Embrace discomfort. Seneca, one of the most well-known Stoic philosophers, believed that true wisdom came from being prepared for hardship before it arrived. He often advised his students to practice voluntary discomfort, to willingly experience temporary hardship, so they could build resilience, self-control, and gratitude for what they had. This wasn't about unnecessary suffering or self-punishment. It was about strengthening the mind by reminding oneself that comfort is not essential for a good life. One of Seneca's most famous practices was to periodically live as if he had lost everything. He would eat the simplest foods, barley gruel, stale bread, and water, rather than indulging in the luxuries his wealth afforded him. He would wear rough, worn-out clothing instead of fine garments. He would even sleep on the floor instead of his bed. And during these times, he would ask himself, "Is this what I feared?" The purpose of this exercise was twofold. First, it removed the fear of poverty or hardship. Most people live with an underlying anxiety about losing what they have, whether it's money, status, or comfort. But when you expose yourself to these conditions voluntarily, you realize they are not as terrible as they seem. You learn that you can endure, that you can function without excess, and that true well-being does not depend on external circumstances. Second, it deepened appreciation for what he had. After a few days of eating only the simplest food and dressing in rough clothes, returning to normal life felt like a privilege. The food he once took for granted tasted richer. The warmth of his bed felt more comforting. Instead of constantly desiring more, he was able to truly enjoy what was already his. You don't need to live like an ascetic to incorporate this principle into your mornings. Small moments of voluntary discomfort can have a powerful effect. Taking a cold shower, for example, forces you to override your natural instinct to seek comfort. The initial shock is unpleasant, but as you learn to breathe through it, you develop mental fortitude. You prove to yourself that you are in control, not your impulses. Another practice is delaying gratification. Instead of immediately reaching for coffee or breakfast, try waiting an hour. If you're used to checking your phone first thing in the morning, resist the urge. These small acts of self-discipline train your mind to handle discomfort, making you more prepared for larger challenges in life. Physical exercise in the morning is another powerful way to build resilience. The Stoics believed that a strong body contributed to a strong mind. Seneca wrote about the importance of subjecting the body to strain and effort to keep it disciplined. This doesn't mean you need to push yourself to exhaustion every morning, but engaging in some form of exercise, whether it's stretching, a brisk walk, or strength training, reinforces the Stoic principle of controlled hardship. The key is not to make yourself suffer for the sake of suffering, but to remind yourself that you are stronger than your cravings for comfort. When you train yourself to endure minor discomforts in the morning, you become more prepared to handle the unexpected difficulties that life inevitably brings. Instead of reacting with frustration or fear, you develop a calm, unshakable mindset. By starting your day with a small challenge, whether it's resisting the snooze button, stepping into a cold shower, or delaying breakfast, you send a message to yourself. I am in control. I do not need to be ruled by comfort or fear. I can endure. And with that foundation, you can move through the rest of your day with greater strength and clarity. 3. Practice gratitude and negative visualization. One of the core Stoic practices that can transform your morning routine is negative visualization. This practice involves imagining the loss of things you value, not to bring about despair, but to build appreciation and perspective. Seneca, in his letters, often spoke about how this exercise allows us to confront our fears and desires directly, which helps us approach the world with a sense of detachment and gratitude. For the Stoics, this wasn't about wishing for loss or harm to come to anyone, but rather a method for recognizing how fragile and fleeting life can be. Seneca would often meditate on the idea that tomorrow, everything he had, the people he loved, his health, his wealth, could be taken away. It wasn't about cultivating negativity, but about preparing the mind to face potential loss with equanimity, should it come. By mentally rehearsing the worst-case scenario, you soften the emotional blow of any unexpected hardships. The idea behind negative visualization is simple yet powerful. You gain a deeper sense of gratitude by imagining what it would be like to lose what you have now. For example, you might think about the people you care about and what it would be like if they were no longer in your life, or reflect on your health and imagine living with an ailment or injury. This helps us understand that we often take the present moment for granted, and we begin to cherish even the ordinary aspects of our lives. This practice is not meant to dwell on the negative, but rather to cultivate a sense of appreciation and mindfulness. Imagine, for a moment, the possibility of losing your home, your job, or your friends. When you think about these things, you don't dwell in a state of despair, but you realize how important they are to your well-being. You recognize their value more deeply. In this sense, negative visualization functions like an antidote to the endless chase for more. By recognizing that life can be unpredictable, you begin to embrace the present moment with a sense of contentment. Start by taking a few minutes each morning to sit in silence and reflect on what you value most. Think about your loved ones, your work, your health. What if one of these things were taken away? How would you react? Not with panic, but with acceptance, knowing that everything in life is impermanent. This mental exercise doesn't make us fatalistic. It makes us resilient, reminding us that we have more power over how we respond to life's events than we realize. The Stoics also taught that by preparing for hardship, we are less likely to be caught off guard by life's inevitable difficulties. When challenges arise, we can respond calmly, knowing we've already mentally prepared for them. This approach reduces anxiety and fosters gratitude because we understand that suffering is not something to be feared but something we can endure. Gratitude, when paired with negative visualization, becomes even more profound. The more you practice this morning routine, the more you'll notice a shift in your mindset. Instead of constantly wishing for more or worrying about what might go wrong, you'll learn to appreciate the abundance in your life right now. Each morning will become an opportunity to focus on what truly matters. Rather than getting bogged down by small annoyances or the desire for more possessions, you'll find yourself embracing the richness of your life as it is, grounded in a calm acceptance of both its joys and its challenges. 4. Set intentions, not just tasks. In our fast-paced world, the focus is often on getting things done, crossing items off a never-ending to-do list. But the Stoics would challenge us to reconsider this approach. Productivity for them wasn't about merely staying busy, it was about staying purposeful. The morning is the best time to set intentions, not just tasks. When we think about the day ahead, it's easy to focus solely on what needs to be accomplished. Emails to send, meetings to attend, errands to run. These are all tasks that demand our time and attention. But the Stoics believe that how we approach those tasks matters more than the tasks themselves. The goal isn't just to be busy, it's to act with intention, to make each action meaningful, and to ensure that what we do aligns with our values. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, often reminded himself that everything he would face in the day, every challenge, every difficult person, every moment of discomfort, was an opportunity to practice virtue. Instead of viewing these obstacles as inconveniences, he saw them as the very things that allowed him to live according to his principles. So, when he rose in the morning, he set the intention to act justly, to remain calm in the face of anger, and to avoid being distracted by trivial concerns. He didn't just ask, "What do I need to do today?" but instead he asked, "What kind of person do I want to be today?" This focus on intention rather than just task completion can deeply transform how you approach your daily routine. Instead of diving into a frenzy of work, pause for a moment and ask yourself why you're doing what you're doing. It's easy to fall into the trap of going through the motions without truly understanding the purpose behind your actions. But when you start your day with intention, everything shifts. You'll find yourself engaging with your work and your relationships more consciously, making decisions that align with your values and being more present in your actions. For example, instead of simply checking off your emails for the sake of productivity, you might ask yourself, why am I responding to these emails? Is it to help others? to collaborate, or to resolve issues that will contribute to something larger. This simple shift in perspective can make even the most mundane tasks feel purposeful, turning them into opportunities for growth, rather than just chores. It's also essential to recognize that Stoic intention setting is deeply connected to the idea of acceptance. Stoics like Epictetus taught that there are things in life beyond our control. While we can set intentions to act with virtue, we cannot control the outcome of every situation. In this sense, setting intentions is about committing to how we will act in the world, not necessarily to the specific results we hope to achieve. If things don't go as planned, the Stoic doesn't become frustrated or upset. They recognize that the external world is beyond their control, and they focus on their own responses. An intention could be as simple as reminding yourself to be patient when you're stuck in traffic or dealing with a difficult person. Instead of reacting with frustration, you can remind yourself, "Today, I will practice patience," or "Today, I will remain calm and composed no matter what happens." The power of intention lies in its ability to direct your focus away from external circumstances and toward your own internal response. You cannot control everything, but you can always control how you respond. So rather than focusing solely on the actions you need to complete, think about the mindset you want to cultivate throughout the day. Do you want to be more patient, compassionate, or disciplined? Do you want to show kindness to others, or act with greater courage in the face of fear? By framing your day around these intentions, you give yourself a guiding compass that helps you stay true to your values. By setting clear intentions, you move beyond the transactional nature of tasks and into a more meaningful engagement with your day. This approach ensures that even the most routine activities serve a greater purpose, and they help you grow in the virtues the Stoics valued most: wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. When your intentions align with these virtues, you're not just going through the motions, you're living intentionally, guided by the principles that lead to a flourishing life. As you move through the day, check in with yourself. Are your actions still aligned with the intentions you set in the morning? If not, gently course correct. The beauty of Stoicism is that it encourages constant reflection and growth without the need for perfection. Each day is an opportunity to practice living with intention, and it all starts with how you approach the morning. 5. Start with movement and physical discipline. The Stoics understood the importance of the body in shaping the mind. They didn't view physical discipline as separate from mental discipline. In fact, they believed the two were intertwined. Epictetus, who was physically disabled, emphasized the significance of cultivating a strong and disciplined body as a foundation for a strong and disciplined mind. He often talked about the need to keep one's body in check, not as an end goal, but as a way to reinforce one's overall sense of self-control. Starting your morning with movement is a way to align your body and mind. This doesn't mean you need to engage in intense workouts or hour-long gym sessions. Instead, think of it as a practice of awakening both the body and the mind, readying yourself to face the day with focus and clarity. A simple morning routine might begin with some light stretching or yoga. This allows you to wake up your muscles and joints, release any tension that has built up overnight, and prepare your body for the day. The Stoics often spoke of the importance of being physically fit so that we could carry out our duties without distraction. A stiff body or poor health would only weigh us down and make it harder to live virtuously. After stretching, you could consider a brisk walk or jog, particularly outside if possible. Walking in nature or simply feeling the early morning air provides not only physical exercise but also an opportunity for reflection. Epictetus would argue that walking is a reminder of the simple truth: we move through life step by step. Each step can be an act of mindful presence, aligning your body with your purpose for the day. Another way to incorporate movement into your morning routine is through a simple bodyweight workout, like push-ups, squats, or planks. This physical challenge helps to cultivate a sense of discipline and endurance. It's a reminder that discomfort and effort are a natural part of life. By training your body in the morning, you practice the very Stoic virtue of accepting discomfort. You intentionally choose to embrace physical effort, which can help set a tone of resilience and determination for the rest of your day. These moments of physical discipline remind you that the body, though temporary and imperfect, is a vessel that carries you through your journey. It's not about achieving a specific look or strength, but about showing up for your body every day, reinforcing the Stoic idea of taking care of the things you can control, your health and your ability to endure. A strong body supports a strong mind. By dedicating time in the morning to physical discipline, you set the stage for a day of mental clarity, resilience, and the readiness to face whatever comes your way. It's the perfect complement to the Stoic mindset, helping you face each challenge with both physical and mental strength. A Stoic morning isn't about doing more, it's about doing less, but with greater intention. Start with reflection, embrace discomfort, practice gratitude, set clear intentions, and feed your mind with wisdom. These small changes can transform your day, helping you navigate challenges with clarity, strength, and inner peace. So tomorrow morning, before you reach for your phone or rush into the world, pause. Think and start your day like a Stoic. Now watch this video on proof that your life is about to change for the better. If you found this video helpful, leave a comment below. What's one Stoic habit you're going to try tomorrow morning? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more content on philosophy and personal growth. Stay disciplined, stay present, and I'll see you in the next video, and remember to be Stoic, always.